Rob Tell on the track. Hop in the whip and I hit these switches. See that chrome suspension? Look at the car, you know who did it. I don't have to mention. They know it's Alex from Hoppos. Custom work come from Hoppos. I'm Rob Tell if I vote for anybody that gotta know. Alex stay with fresh content and he keep it coming like a slideshow. Never cut corners far as I know, but he cut metal with his eyes closed. Control arms, reinforced frame, still killing the game. You see the gun smoke from Impalas with the X-frame, doing tricks like it came from the X game. Everybody gotta tune in for.
What's up, guys? Alex here from Hoppos once again with another video for you guys for YouTube. Well, first off, I want to start by saying thank you guys. Thank you guys a lot. Greatly appreciated for everyone that's been reaching out to myself and my girl and our newborn baby. She's officially 1 month today, and I just want to say thank you guys for everyone that's reached out via DMs, phone calls here to the shop and everything regarding the whole situation with the formula. Luckily, thank God, I was able to find a location here nearby with about 10 cans, and then throughout the city on the way home I picked up probably about another 4 or 5 here and there, and this has been throughout a week span. Being that it was she was lactose intolerant, she could only have a specific formula, and with all the craziness going on, it was been real hard to locate multiple cans at once. I was only finding a small can here, a small can 20 miles away. So thank God, now with the stores kind of stocking back up, we were able to find some for her. So I just want to say thank you guys for everyone that was willing to go out of their way, find the formula. Chewy from New Mexico, or from Yuma, thank you for reaching out. I know you messaged me separately earlier today. Alex the truck driver, not Alex myself. Alex the truck driver, thank you. I know you called the shop earlier, so I just want to say thank you. Everyone else that's reached out, I want to say thank you guys. It means a lot to myself and my family. And yeah, just seriously, thank you guys a lot for really going out of your way and reaching out. But luckily we were able to find it. And the stores are starting to stock back up on it, so everything should be in the clear now with all this stuff going on. And with that being said, I also posted up a Q&A session up on Instagram on our stories. So I did screenshot a few of those. I did about 30 of them or so. So we'll be jumping into that, doing a little Q&A session for you guys, kind of going back and forth on some questions you guys had, some pros and cons, some just experiences for myself. So we'll be jumping in that right now. We are having the 57 get picked up today, so they're on their way right now. So hopefully get that sucker loaded up. So we're gonna get into that real quick. Then we'll be cutting some frame kits as well. So the 57 just got picked up, so now we're on to the frame kit. So you guys can see here, we got a big old 104-piece puzzle. Canadian Impala kit is gonna get cleaned up right now. We just finished cutting it. So this is gonna be one of the next projects for Vic. He's gonna be cleaning these up, getting them all shipped out, and then next step up, luckily we're able to get some materials here. So that is gonna be getting tossed up on the plasma right there behind me, and we're gonna be cutting another G-body kit for you guys. And hopefully what I'm gonna do is try to time lapse that for you guys. You guys can see kind of machine cutting and everything. So then we'll jump into the Q&A.
Slowly.
guys go. You guys get a little taste of the cutting action going on back here. Kind of ran through a little time lapse to see how long it takes and everything like that. Obviously, I didn't show you the whole thing, being that it's still cutting, but give you a cool little idea, cool little video on the process it takes. So we're gonna continue cutting this, and then from there we'll jump into the whole Q&A session. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump into the little Q&A session that we kind of did. I did it on my Instagram story a few days back. We're just getting into it. Kind of been busy here at the shop, and we got a little free time right now. It's quiet. Everyone's gone for the day, so I figured right now would be the perfect time to kind of go through everything and to go through some of the questions. Some of them are repeat, some of them aren't. Some of them, I'm just kind of going through the most. I probably had about 300 messages, so we're gonna kind of go through just some of them on here. Kuya Arturo, if I'm butchering these names, I apologize. Kuya_Arturo, can you add front shocks to an existing airbag installation on a Nissan hardbody? So to answer that, yes, you could add front shocks onto pretty much any hydraulic or air suspension. Just know that it is going to be an external shock, and it is going to limit you on your steering, depending on what rim size you have also. If you do that, what's going to happen is depending on the rim you're running, you're going to have to put a steering stop in place. So you're going to have to weld in just a little spacer onto normally your spindle or to your arm, depending on what hits. There's normally bump stops on your arm. So you're going to have to normally put a little bump stop there to keep the wheel from hitting the shock. And depending on the size of that, or depending on the size of your shock, you might have to put a little bit bigger than another. But to answer that question, yes, you can put shocks on hydraulic and air suspension. A lot of guys think you can't, but yes, you can. So hopefully that helps you out there. Next one, Matt_S0510. On a G body, what size cylinders could I use with a stock 4-link arms for right now? So pretty much what you're saying, you got stock suspension on there. What's the max cylinders you could do without modifying all that? That's pretty much what I'm getting out of that. And to answer that, pretty much max cylinder you could do on stock suspension on G body is going to be a 10-inch cylinder in the rear. And on a 10-inch cylinder, you're going to be maxing out your stock shock. And even at that point, your upper trailing arms are going to come down, and there's going to be that cross member that comes across where your arms mount to. That is going to pretty much kiss that bracket. So even a lot of times on 10s on stock suspension, you do still have to trim that bracket where your upper arms connect to. That way it doesn't bend the arm. But 10s are going to be max you could run on there. Other than using a Mustang 2 front end, what way would you recommend juicing a 1949 to 54 Chevy? So 49 to 54 Chevy, those ones do take a lot of work to either do hydraulic or air suspension on. I would say the best way to do it is a Mustang 2. It isn't the cheapest, but it is the best as far as it's going to be knocking out a whole bunch of things with one. It's going to be updating your steering. It's going to be updating your brakes. And from there, you're also going to be converting to A-arm upper and lower suspension. So it just improves ride quality a lot. Again, it's not the cheapest. It's going to be the most expensive route, but that's going to be the best way to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still keep the stock front end and bag it, or he's actually asking for hydraulic. So you can do it hydraulic or air suspension on a stock front end. Just know that your ride quality isn't going to be the best and handling isn't going to be the best, but it can be done. So that's one way you can do it right there. Mustang 2 is the way I would go. Again, you're spending more money doing it that way, but in the end, you're going to be more satisfied. The one thing I don't like about the Mustang 2 front end is the arm travel as far as lift is very limited because the way how short the arms are. So your pivot is going to be very, very limited. Max on a Mustang 2, I'd say is like a 6-inch cylinder on there. You could actually get more lift and lay, or actually I should say more lift out of a stock front end on that. So there's a lot of pros and cons to that. You got to really weigh out your options there and kind of figure out what you want to do spending wise, because a Mustang 2 isn't cheap. All said and done, doing it correctly, you're going to spend a easy $8,000 on a Mustang 2 front end conversion and hydraulics. So definitely weigh out those options before you jump into it. So Tuckin_CABRE cab. I'm butchering these names.
So Tuckin, Cabrera, Cabrera. What happened to the part 2 video on the OBS? Great videos, by the way. So a lot of people, that's like seriously probably the number one, is what happened to the OBS? Why haven't you showed part 2? And it's plain and simple. When we work on our personal cars, we don't get to work on them very often. And that one does belong to Vic. You guys know Vic, the guy who doesn't talk a lot in the videos. I always give him a hard time, and I enjoy that you guys give him a hard time too, because it is freaking hilarious. He gets so mad and frustrated with that, but it is opening him up to kind of talking a little more in general. So part 2 on that is on hold just because we're so busy that we normally don't get free time to work on it and do the rack. And I know he's been piecing parts together as well as working on his budget as well too. So we've been, he's been putting parts aside here and been paying and doing that. But when we get a free rack, we'll definitely finish part 2. I know he wants to do it pretty soon, and hopefully with all this quarantine stuff, maybe we could squeeze it in, being that we're not taking in any customer vehicles right now. So we'll see. We always see, Tommy D604. We always see you working on everyone else's lowriders. What do you have in the garage? Again, personal vehicles, we don't get to work on our own very often. But one of my long-term builds is the 01 Silverado that's been fully patterned, flaked out by Mario's Auto Works. It has a lot of, if you guys know Mario's Auto Works, they do a lot of high-end paint jobs. They did the paint on that. They also do a lot of customized grills, and Greg over at Mario's Auto Works did a full tubular front-end grill and fog light grills for me. So that one's, it's in the works. It's fully back halved, and the whole back half is pretty much tacked together, mocked together. 4-link is mocked. It's just a matter of finishing it. That's one of them. Obviously, you guys have probably seen my 2017 Ram 2500 on the videos. That one's my everyday work truck, and that one's lifted on a 10.5-inch lift, running 40s on 22-inch American Force billet wheels, and it's a fully powder coated lollipop red. That one also has Fox shocks all the way around, Fox steering stabilizers. It has a Dodge off-road steering brace, custom roof racks, a lot of custom touches. It has rear air suspension on it. Dual 3-gallon air tanks with a triple trumpet horn. What else do I got on there? I'm running 20 C4 rock lights on there. I'm also running... It's always funny when you got to talk about your own thing. You don't even know what you have. Patriot tires. I'm running a 40 by 15.5 wide Patriot tire. And I've been running those for probably about a year and a half now. And I'll probably be jumping right back into those. But that's kind of like my everyday driver. I do take it to shows here and there. It does place, but it's my daily truck, and that's the one I've been having the most fun with, honestly, man. Been beating that thing up, taking it off road, cleaning it up, taking it to shows. Still doing decent with it. Obviously, it's not a show truck. I don't consider it a show truck. I mean, it has rock chips in it. But it's my fun one. But other than that, my dream one and my project long-term, which I do have here too, is my 58 Impala. And at this point right now, as far as this point in time in my life right now, my dreams and my imagination is bigger than my wallet. So that one is on hold. But I'll just, piece stuff together and just kind of put stuff off to the side till everything is, situated in life. Then I'll get on that one. That one will be my turntable, car, long-term wise. But there you guys go. So you guys are always asking. I got a lot of stuff kind of stored away. There's a few other stuff that's back there, but I don't even consider them projects because I haven't touched them. El Compa Irwin, what do you recommend for a Coupe de Ville to lay hard but have somewhat of a nice lockup? That's pretty simple. I mean, you could just pretty much do any hydraulic setup. Now, again, it depends on how much you want to spend as far as lockup, because once you go into high lockup, you are modifying your upper arms. It is a Coupe de Ville, so upper arms, lower arms, drive shaft. You're going to be doing all that to get a high lockup in there. But, you could get that thing to lay on the floor and do a 22-inch lockup if it's done correctly. Let's jump into the next question here. Do you have a personal lowrider, or would you build one street or show? So that kind of goes back to what I have in my garage. Yes, I would build one. I'm not a street car type of guy. if we're gonna build one and I'm gonna build one, I want it to be fully 100% show quality, but still driven on the street. To me, a street car is just unfinished, lowrider in my opinion. I like to see cars that are fully done. I'm talking about chrome undercarriage, full everything on the bottom, painted frame or powder coated frame, and still driving on the streets. That's my opinion of a street car. That's what I like. So, is your friend's bags on the OBS done? There's another OBS question. No, guys, that one is not done. I am sorry. Again, we'll jump into that one when we can. So let me pull up the next one right here for you guys. So Cordell 3000. How can you tell if your cylinders are bent or the seals are bad? And that one's a pretty simple, cylinder. Actually, it works out perfect. I didn't plan this out, guys, I swear. Cylinder shaft. If you guys really want to tell if it's bent or not, you guys can always pull this out. If you can't pull it out, then it's probably going to be bent. But you got to always pull this out, and you can lay this on a flat surface, and you can roll it, and you can see if it has any warp in it. Another way is just put a square up to it and just check, all along the edge to see if it's bent or not. Excuse that, phones are going to be ringing. But other than that, obvious bend is, if it just has a warp in it, that's pretty obvious to tell. If your seals are bad, that's pretty obvious as well. If you're leaking fluid down, if your cylinders are leaking, dripping at any point, cylinders shouldn't really be wet at all. So if you have any leakage going on, seals are bad. And you can replace the seals multiple times on there. If it gets to a point where even though you replace the seal, it's still leaking on you, there's also a secondary option called a poly pack. We do offer those as well. And what that is kind of, you can kind of see here. I don't know if you guys can see that, if it's zooming in or focusing, but there's a little lip on that top O-ring closest to this side. That is a poly pack. A poly pack, what it does is pretty much it flares out the top and takes up any imperfection in the cylinder wall. So there's a lot of options for that. What are your thoughts on a street charger, and do you think they work? My opinion on a street charger, I'm not a huge fan of them, honestly. I prefer actually doing a full deep charge on it, and a lot of people don't want to do a charge because they think it's too hard, but it's really not that bad. But street charger is only going to do a surface charge. It's not going to do a really deep charge, being that it's working off the alternator and the batteries and stuff like that. Now, I don't really know the full science behind the street charger, so correct me if I'm wrong on these, but from what I'm aware of, it was more like a trickle charger, and it only does a very surface charge, only does a surface charge on it. It doesn't do a deep cell charge like a normal, series charger would. But yeah, in my opinion, I would just put the money into a regular charger because you're going to get a longer life out of that anyway, so. Do we do body drops? And that was a severed ties able. Yes, we do body drops. Right now we're not taking anything in right now because of how busy we are. But yeah, we do body drops. It kind of goes in hand with suspension work and all that. And I don't even know how to say this name. NEHSTEA. What car would you build? Street car or full show? This again, it's a repeat question. I'd build full show because you could take a full show car out on the streets. A street car you can't take, and go and full display. So my opinion on that, and being that what we do every day is just you have to have a car that's fully done, undercarriage and all. Obviously you got to build in your means, but a full-blown lowrider, that's the way I see it, is fully done, top to bottom, fully detailed. JCHHIN. What's the longest cylinder you can put on a 1966 Impala without any modifications? Longest cylinder without modifying anything is going to be a max of a 10-inch cylinder. That's keeping stock arms, panhard bar, keeping drive shaft the same, and stock shocks. 10-inch cylinder max in the rear. In the front, 8's max on that car specifically. Can you show us? This is from WALKAH88. Some of you guys got some funky names, man, I swear. Can you show us how to change body mounts on a G-body in detail, please? That's something that we don't normally do here unless we're doing the full car, and that's not something we normally cover. But it's body mounts are simple. You know, you could almost do one whole side at a time. Just, you know, slightly push the car up, take one out, put it in, and swap it. It's you know, it's just one bolt per mount, so it's not very hard. Tri-City Auto Group. How do I get Hoppos to bag my 65 Rag Impala in Orlando, Florida? Well, first things first, the car would have to be shipped here on a transport, and that'd be obviously when we have an opening. Right now, we are currently booked. And with all this pandemic stuff going on, we are not bringing any vehicles in, and it's actually pushed back our list quite severe because the downtime we're having with not having customers coming into the shop right now. NTB.THXRIN. Again, funky IG names. When are y'all gonna be making more reinforcement plates for big body caddy? We do have a big body frame here. It is one of the next frames that is supposed to be onto our R&D section, to where we're gonna, you know, pretty much tear down, build a whole frame kit for it. Now, as of right now, we only offer arches for that car. Eventually, we'll be doing full frame for that car, but it's just a matter of time. Again, we run kind of a small limited group here and staffing, so our time is very limited as far as R&D stuff. But eventually, we'll get to it. But you know, as of right now, it's not on the top priority. The next one that's going to be in the works is 65 to 70 Impala, for you guys wondering. So that kind of finishes those ones off. Let's jump into another set of questions here. Oh, this was a repeat. Sorry, I already saw that one. Okay, so next question here. How long have you been welding, and where did you learn from? So let's see. I've probably been welding since I was, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old. Obviously, it wasn't full weld, you know, full production, you know, tack, you know, try it. It didn't look good. I kind of grew up around it, and then as I was full-time here, I started welding more and more and more. But even for the first 2 or 3 years, I wasn't technically allowed to go on to production stuff or customer stuff until I could prove the quality and the cleanliness of what Art wanted. So full production welding and you know, everything that you guys see now, probably a total of 9 years, give or take here and there. That's MIG welding. I started off with MIG. I kind of wish I started with stick, kind of, you know, start from the very beginning on the basics, but I didn't. I started on MIG, and then probably about 6 years ago, I jumped onto TIG, and, you know, I kind of self-taught myself on that, trying to figure it out, watch a lot of YouTube videos, you know, like you guys, and pretty much comes down to, if I see something, I need to see someone be able to, you know, see someone doing it physically. Then from there, I kind of learn from there. I'm a visual learner, so I, you know, grasp the concept of it. I went on YouTube, I watched people, how they would actually hold the torch, hold the rod, and then how they would pedal and stuff like that, how they would control the heat. So getting all three of those to line up on TIG for me was a little bit harder. It took me about, I don't know, a good week or so for me to figure out how to dial everything in, to know the rhythm of it. It still didn't look pretty at that time, and then probably, you know, a few months down the road, it started looking to where it was decent. And then probably a year down the road after that was when it was looking really good. And that's when, you know, I started doing this stuff on production TIG too. So, you know, and welding's one of those things too, where it's practice. You know, you can sit there and you can sit in a cubicle all day long, or you could go to fab school, you could go to welding class, and you could sit there in a cubicle all day long, and you could be a badass welder while sitting in a comfy chair in a controlled environment. But let's be realistic. Real welding, and unless you're sitting there doing production stuff all the time, is not like that. You know, until you feel that welding ball fall in your ear, or until it burns your hair or burns your feet and stuff like that, that's when you're really into like the real welding, and that's when you got to be hands-on on that kind of stuff. You know, you can't learn that from a book. So you just got to jump on the welding stuff and kind of learn from there. Another question here from Sorry guys, I'm kind of going through my emails right here because I screenshot and sent it to myself. Let's see here. What would be your dream car to build? Well, that one I kind of answered already. Dream car to build would be my 58. I'm a 58 fan. 58 hardtop. I'm not a fan of 58 rags. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like them, but me personally, if I'd build one, I like the way the roof flows on a 58. It just kind of flows with everything. So 58 Impala would be my personal dream lowrider. So, all right, next question. Have you ever considered building an off-road King of the Hammers vehicle? Yeah, I mean, that'd be something fun. Definitely test everything out. A lot of that stuff kind of cross references to what we do here anyways, suspension wise, 4-link wise. The only difference is it's a lot easier because you have more room. You know, right now we're still getting, 12, 14, 22 inches of travel, but in a really confined space because the car is lowered. On the rock crawler stuff, you have a lot more space, a lot more room. So it's a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot easier, you don't have to worry about the clearance of it laid. It's just mostly clearances of it articulating and stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be definitely something fun. And, maybe in the future we'd get into that more. Personally, I mean, I do that on my big truck anyways. And that's something I do plan on doing anyways. Down the road was changing my lift kit and actually going higher because I'm just not happy with the height of the bit. So, let me go through this one. OBS, answer that one already. So it seems like a lot of these other ones are kind of repeat questions, so we're gonna skip over those ones. There you guys go. It's kind of a little Q&A for me. Hopefully you guys liked it. It's a little change of pace on the videos, but something a little bit different for you guys. You guys learn a little more about us, what we do here, and myself, and kind of get my feel and my opinion on a lot of things too. So hopefully you guys are staying sane at home with the self-quarantine stuff. But, ourselves, we're technically considered automotive, essential business. But what we've done is we've closed to the public, and we are pretty much showrooms closed. And we're just going over doing all production stuff and mail order and shipping. So we were kind of self-quarantining ourselves here, and we kind of came in agreement with everyone that's working here. We were limiting where we are going, and we are not really, traveling outside of our house and work for now until all this is over. That way all of us stay safe, being that we work in close quarters with each other. So hopefully you guys are, again, staying sane, and you guys are making the best of it. Enjoy this time, work on the cars, spend time with the kids, the wife. Yeah, you guys are just having fun. So thank you guys for watching another video. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys go to our website, www.hopplesonline.com. And you guys have a good one.
Rob Tell on the track. Hop in the whip and I hit these switches. See that chrome suspension. Look at the car, you know who did it. I don't have to mention. They know it's Alex from Hoppos. Custom work come from Hoppos. I'm Rob Teller 504. For anybody that gotta know, Alex stay with fresh content and he keep it coming like a slideshow. Never cut corners far as I know, but he cut metal with his eyes closed. Control arms, reinforced frame, still killing the game. You see the gun smoke from Impalas with the X-frame, doing tricks like it came from the X game. Everybody gotta tune in.